Gráinne Maguire thinks a spot of humiliation might actually be good for us. Let's hope it doesn't last too long. Gráinne is with us now. Welcome to the programme.
Hello.
Why is this humiliation going to be good for us?
I just think a bit of humility is good for everybody. It's good to say, you know what, guys, I messed up, I gooped, I'm mortified, and then people can move on.
But isn't there a difference between humility, which is a good thing, and humiliation, in which everyone is going, as they do in The Simpsons, ha ha?
Well, I think it depends who you are. So if you're the person watching the person being humiliated, it's hilarious, and the rest of the world is having a good old laugh at the United Kingdom at the moment. But when it's you, when you are embarrassed and when you have messed up, rather than just styling it out, which it seems like everybody's doing at the moment, if you were just had the vulnerability to say, you know what, this isn't going as I planned, I think it will work out better.
But that's been partly the Prime Minister's problem, because she doesn't say that. No matter what happens, I mean, she is like the Duracell bunny. She just keeps on going on and on and on. And a bit of, saying, as you've just said, this hasn't gone exactly according to plan. As the Japanese emperor surrendered in 1945 said, recent events have not necessarily been to our advantage. That was after both atom bombs had gone off. That would go down better with the public, would it not?
Yeah, 100%. So I do stand up, and when I'm really nervous, I fart. When I'm really nervous.
You're not nervous tonight, are you?
No, I'm very relaxed.
Thank God for that.
One time I was at a gig, I was walking to the microphone, I was so nervous, I farted so audibly that I had to acknowledge it when I got on stage. And it was one of the best gigs of my life.
Do you use this for every intro now? Just to break the tension?
Theresa May.
So Theresa May really needs to break in.
Yeah, she needs to say, guys, that was me.
Yeah, all right.
I was speaking to a bunch of businesses, mainly small businessmen and women last night. They don't feel humiliated. They think their businesses are doing well, the economy is doing reasonably well. They're quite optimistic about our country. But they do think the political class has humiliated us. That's what they were angry about.
Yeah, it feels like the UK at the moment is a bit like a drunk girl in a nightclub toilet. She's crying, mascara's running, and everybody's like, do you say it to her? Should we get her in a taxi home? So I feel like, it's a very embarrassing moment for the UK at the moment. Brexit is the main story here in the news, but in the rest of the world, it's the "and finally" story, like the squirrel water skiing. So I think if politicians were more able to go, you know what, guys, this is a bad day for me. I don't know what I'm doing. Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn, everybody, maybe things wouldn't have got to the situation.
Could we have the skateboarding duck instead of the Brexit process? I mean, that might cheer us up a bit. I remember we had that on Nationwide years ago. Humility is not something politicians are particularly famous for, is it, Michael?
I think it varies. Some are not. What I would say is, if Britain's being humiliated now, and it is, then you have to look for a pattern. Of course, Ireland was pretty humiliated a few years ago. Italy's been humiliated. Greece has been humiliated. So what's the common factor here? That the European Union humiliates its member states. I find
but it humiliates people who present themselves to be humiliated. This didn't have to be.
No, that's not true. Greece was not humiliated because it presented itself to be humiliated. Greece was humiliated because France and Germany connived to put it into the euro, where it had no place, where it couldn't possibly manage.
And then Greece borrowed like a drunk, like you're drunk in the nightclub.
And then they wrecked its economy and impoverished its people.
He's off.
Yeah, give him half a chance. I mean, I'm quite interested.
I don't think I even have that.
I don't think politicians get on well when they say, I'm sorry. I remember Nick Clegg apologising for tuition fees, do you remember?
Yeah. And that was
set
to
minute
music.
It was put to set to music.
And just remind me how much he's earning now.
Hilarious. So I think, with politicians, it's a nice idea that they'd say, sorry, Theresa May hasn't got the capacity, she hasn't got the empathy to do that anyway. And
not like Donald Trump.
I'm not the skill to do it properly.
He embodies, in my mind, humility.
Humility,
If he had said, do you know what, I can't believe I just said that. I'm mortified. Maybe things would, be a bit more
He
steady.
probably says if I had some humility, I'd be perfect. Yeah.
He's the best at humility.
One commentator said it was humiliating when we went to the IMF in 1976 and had to put the economics of this country in the hands of the IMF for a while, and that what's happened in the Brexit talks and the position we're in tonight that's another humiliation. We've once again outsourced the future of this country to a third party.
Yes, I think we've done it a few times in between as well. I mean, for instance, during the Maastricht debates, we were longing for Denmark and France to have referendums that voted against. So, I mean, I'm afraid we've been in that position a long time. I've been given another half chance. You see, this is what happens when you tie yourself to the European Union.
But it was
You're confusing the European Union with the Eurovision. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, that's true.
He gets very confused at this time of night, as you
don't
can see from his outfit.
I don't understand that argument about the current events. We had a referendum to come out. We had a decision to come out. We were the ones who actually wrote Article 50, British Civil Service.
Yes.
We went through Article 50. We got to it. We did a deal. 27 member states did a deal with us. We asked for the backstop. They gave us the backstop. And now we're going back to them and saying, I'm sorry, time's run out.
And on
it's not their it's our humiliation.
And I understand, but on the mention of the backstop, we'll bring this programme to an end. That's a deal breaker. Gráinne, great to have you. Thanks for being with us.
Dream
Thank
come
you.
true.
Exactly. That's your lot for tonight, folks, but not for us. We're off to Lulu's, where there's been a sighting of David Cameron. Yes, Call Me Dave has been somewhat elusive since his cunning plan for a referendum blew up in his face. But we've been tipped off that he's been spotted in the club's Blue Nun cellar, necking copious quantities of German Riesling while playing snap with Lord Lucan, Shergar, and that Japanese soldier still waiting to be told that the war ended in 1945. And that, like Call Me Dave, he lost. Nighty-night, don't let Euroland bite.